Welcome to Cargo Insights TV. My name is Shreyansh Kohli, and we are here today at South Asia's largest exhibition, IICS 2025. Today we are shooting a mini podcast series by the name of Minds Behind the Movement, for which we have Kevin from One Up Cargo. He's the director of One Up Cargo. Kevin, please say hi.
Hi. Welcome to Mumbai.
All right, let's get started.
Sure.
So my first question to you is, where do you see the future of global trade?
Yeah, I think it's becoming smaller and smaller. It used to be much more separated, but now the people can get across the world in a couple of hours and sit face to face. I think the relationship is still there. The communication is still there. It's really important for us. Of course, technology is evolving and everybody's going towards AI and virtual documentation and bots and all that other sort of stuff. But I think maybe I'm a little bit old school in that we still believe in face-to-face
networking, right?
Communication, talking with somebody, sharing a meal, sharing a cup of tea, and discussing it. When problems occur, and problems do occur, you can grab somebody on the phone and you know somebody, you'll be able to get hold of them. This is important to us.
Great. Did you get into this industry by chance or by choice?
I'm born in South Africa, in Durban in South Africa. I immigrated across to Australia, to Sydney, Australia, which is where I live now. I was working in personal effects, so we were exporting personal effects, a lot of people immigrating out of South Africa, and we were dealing with freight forwarders. We were booking cargo with freight forwarders. So when I landed in Sydney, I said, I'll become a freight forwarder.
All right.
And I went to work for Schenker, it's the first company.
So how has your journey been? How long have you been in this trade and how did you get with One Up Cargo?
About 25 years.
Okay.
Working is my way up through, sort of junior levels. I've worked for Schenker Main Freight, which is a multinational in Australia and New Zealand. A couple of other forwarders along the way. I was a minor shareholder in a previous company, and then I banded together with a Canadian business partner, a lady from Vancouver and a gentleman from Auckland, and we started One Up Cargo about 9 years ago now. So it's a good amount of time.
So you know how there's a lot of talk about AI in trade these days, and AI in general as well.
Yeah.
I want to understand, since you have offices in Australia, South Africa, and also people in India. What do you think is the difference when it comes to the application of AI in India and outside India in this industry?
Yeah, I think I don't really know the Indian side of it specifically. We have 10 or 15 Indian staff working for us, but they're working 100% remotely for our foreign offices. But there's obviously a lot of people coming past and expressing a lot of interest in the AI movement and coming and talking to us about their AI developments. More so probably than the Australian side. On the Australian side, the industry is a bit old school industry. There's a lot of old customs brokerages that have grown up into freight forwarding companies and whatever. And I think a lot of that older generation are maybe a little bit slow at adopting the AI side of things. And I'll put myself in that same bucket. I'm exactly the same. But my Canadian partner, my New Zealand partner, all over it, and they're running and leading with that part of our business.
So they're heavily integrating.
Not heavily integrating, but they're researching and developing and seeing what is the right avenue that they need to take on that AI side.
They're curious about it.
And I'm not too involved in the AI side of it. So,
Well, all right. So tell me something. I'm sure that given the nature of your business, you have to travel a lot.
Yeah.
So out of all the countries that you visit, which one do you think is more exceeding in this industry?
I think for us in the Australian market, India is the one that's obviously up and coming. We have a new free trade agreement. We have a little bit of problems on a higher level between China and Australia. And we're getting a lot of government assistance, Australian government assistance for our importers to buy from India. So this is why we come here. It's an easy place to get along. Everybody speaks English. It's easy, it's close, it's convenient. We know a lot of people here for a long time. So it's nice to be able to come back to India. Of course, it will always be China, Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand as our sort of hubs. But where we see those markets probably stagnating out a little bit, the Indian side is what's increasing for us.
And what do you think about the West with all the geopolitical tension that has been happening lately?
Yeah, I think when everything's constant and there's no tariffs and there's no problems, there's not the greatest opportunity for freight forwarders to pick up market share. We pick up our biggest market share when there's COVID and when there's tariffs and when there's political problems along the way. So for me, I don't mind a little bit of instability because that's when your customers want to talk to you. Other than that, they status quo. When there's instability, that's when they talk to us.
All right. So let us move on to the next segment of this podcast.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you this is a rapid fire round.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you a few questions. You only have 5 seconds to answer each.
Okay.
Right? Let's begin.
Let's go.
First question. One change that is shaping logistics right now.
I think it's the AI side of it that we were talking about, technology moving on.
Okay. One skill that pays off long term.
Communication, being able to communicate at different levels within an organization, a family, business, friendship group, communication.
Okay, that's great. A mindset shift that you've made recently.
I think it's mindset shift. I think it's just being able to get back on the road and see our partners and talk to our partners rather than just dealing with Teams and WhatsApp and whatever else. It's, again, shifting and getting back in front of our people and talking.
So more FaceTime.
FaceTime, more FaceTime.
Okay. Do you prefer speed or stability?
Stability.
Stability,
Yeah.
all right. All right, one last question. Some guidance that has proved, really worthy for you over time.
No, I think that, again, we deal with problems all day in freight forwarding. That's what we are. If there were no problems, there wouldn't be freight forwarding. And it's about communicating these problems and coming up with a plan there and then. The problem gets exponentially worse the longer you delay. So let's take something and work it out and let's move on from there.
So instant action.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Thank you so much. Do you have any message for the audience?
No, I'm glad to be back in India. Welcome to India. We'll see you next year, I guess.
All right, great. Thank you.